So are you still one of these people that think it's all a cock-up? I think there's still some people who do. What these people need to appreciate is that human action is purposeful behaviour. All of our actions are motivated towards achieving an objective. Now, in life, we can all make an odd mistake. For example, you might really like a girl and you're going out for a date and you might miss your bus and you're late. So you tell her that you really love her and it won't happen again, and maybe she accepts your apology, yeah? However, if you're going out with somebody and they're constantly late, maybe they stay out at somebody else's house, or they get you to pay for everything, and they insist that they love you, then only a fool would fail to see the inconsistencies between this person's stated objective, that they love you, and their behaviour. There's a reality gap. So what I'm saying is that if somebody's actions fail to line up with their stated objectives, that's normally because they're trying to achieve a different set of objectives from the ones that you've been told about. So one more time, if somebody says that they're trying to achieve X, Y, Z, but their actions seem completely illogical in relation to that objective, then what you can conclude is that they're probably trying to achieve a different objective. So I think that this is very, very pertinent to what's going on now. So you're told that governments want to keep you safe from a deadly pandemic that over here in Finland kills on average 84-year-olds. It's and the average life expectancy in Finland is about 81. This thing that we're told about, it's supposed to be deadly, and it's super infectious. So, this doesn't really make any sense, bearing in mind that the body bags are hardly filling up at the end of your street or at the end of my street either. So, and then there's all sorts of other kind of really weird sort of inconsistencies that I won't bore you with, It's just been one odd decision after another. But all of these decisions, I think they point in the same direction. And if you look at the decisions and study them, you can then, I believe, gain an insight into what the government's true objective is, which is very different from the objective that they say they're pursuing, which is keeping you safe. So let's have a look at some possible objectives. So if maybe a fairly benign one might be debt levels are too high and we need some sort of financial reset. So to do that, you'd need to hyperinflate away our existing monetary system, and maybe you could do that by crushing aggregate supply through lockdowns, and at the same time recklessly print money to fund things like furlough and other dodgy government schemes. Something else that that some people talk about is these certificates of digital identity. Let's say, this could also be an objective, and the government's actions would also correspond to that. But then, something else that you've got to kind of consider is if they just wanted to achieve that, then what they would do is just say we're only going to have one Britney Spears concert, and at that concert we're only going to serve saline, harmless saline, and in that way there'd be no real resistance against going to that Britney Spears concert once, and you could have Britney Spears digital passports to go into pubs and things like that, and you could easily get people to go with the idea of a digital ID, and then from there you can issue your new central bank digital currency. But the problem with that is that it doesn't coincide, or it doesn't match up rather, with what the governments have been doing. So they are now saying, in Britain, for example, you need to go to the Britney Spears concert 3 times. So why, what's going on there? Well, why 3 times? Why not only once? Well, I think that the real objective that governments are trying to pursue is depopulation. So if you were trying to depopulate, because you believe that there's 95% of the world's population are unnecessary, they cause pollution, they burn through finite non-renewable resources, and the AI has made labour redundant as a factor of production. There are some kind of loonies who believe in this, as well as Satanists who hate human beings who are made in the image of God. Anyway, so trying to convince people to euthanize themselves might be quite difficult, for obvious reasons. I remember when I was teaching at school, they'd have some kind of indoctrinated kids that will be going on and on and on about man-made climate change. So I would say to these people, well, yeah, so when are you and your family going to voluntarily euthanize themselves? And of course, at that point, the lights would go on and that would be it, oh, no, that wouldn't be necessary. Well, you then say to them, well, it has to be done really quickly, doesn't it, because we've only got, whatever it is, 2 months left to save the planet, or whatever ridiculous scare stories being pumped out by the BBC. So anyway, if you were trying to achieve the goal of depopulation, it would actually be quite difficult because people would resist it. So how could you do it? Well, I guess what you could do is to try to convince people to take a medicine that would euthanize themselves. Now, if this medicine was it was all out in the open, of course no one would do it. So you'd have to trick people into it. So you'd have to come up with some sort of scare story, wouldn't you? That you need to take this medicine, to save yourself. You'd have to come up with that type of story. But the thing about that is, if the medicine was as deadly as it needs to be to get rid of 95% of the world's population, even the dumbest of sheep would actually kind of realise. So what you'd need to do, if that was your objective, is you'd need to say, okay, well, look, to work, to go to the football, to go to your chavvy skiing holiday in Chavany, then you're going to have to keep on going to these Britney Spears concerts, and you're going to have to drink whatever drink we put in front of you. Your body, government's choice. And what you'd do is, with each round of drinks served at each Britney Spears concert, maybe some of the drinks are slow acting. Maybe they cause cancer over 10 years. So people drink it, they're all right for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, but then they drop dead of cancer as a result of drinking this poison that they got conned into taking. Or maybe, you have people who are suffering from comyocoinciditis, and maybe they've got heart problems that they don't know about yet, because they're not like pro footballers who are stressing themselves. The other thing that you'd need to do is roll it out slowly. So maybe only 1 in 10 of the drinks are spiked. So maybe the first time you go to the Britney Spears concert and you have your drink, you may be all right. No problem. So you think, well, what's the problem? There's no issue with this. Those blinking anti-Britney Spears concert people. We need to put them in concentration camps. This is safe and all that. Anyway, I'm being a bit silly there. But then maybe the second one, maybe you get lucky a second time. Maybe it gets, to year 4, year 5, and we're now attending the 9th Britney Spears concert, and maybe then that's when you get unlucky. You've lost your game of Russian roulette. Maybe it's at this point that as I say, your luck runs out and you drop dead very quickly. So I think that's basically, if you look at a hideous objective of depopulation and how you would go about it, like how could anyone manage to reduce the world's population by 95%? I don't think you could think of a better way of achieving it than this, than by persuading people to poison themselves. And the poison would have to be slow acting, and the poison would have to be delivered slowly, with lots and lots of placebos thrown in with every round of the Britney Spears concerts. Okay, so I'm at the beach, 4:30 in the afternoon. Just give you a little look around here. So yeah, God bless you, and whatever you do, stay away from those Britney Spears concerts. They'll kill you eventually.